Hi, welcome to my channel. I am Gift and you're welcome to Gift and Couture. So in today's tutorial, I want to show you how I made this beautiful playsuit that you're seeing on me on your screen. Alright, so if this is your first time of coming across my channel, please do out to like, share, comment and subscribe. And for the sleeves, alright, the style inspiration, it has sleeve, but don't worry, I'm going to show you how to fix it. Alright, let's go. Now the first thing you're going to do, you're going to mark 1 inch. That 1 inch is going to use as your top line. Alright, the next thing you're going to do, connect the lines, and after that place your tape rule below the 1 inch and mark 1.5, which is going to use as your shoulder line. This pattern I'm cutting both front and the back. Alright, so next thing, go ahead, place your tape rule just like this that you're seeing, measure your bust point and your half length. So for me, my bust point is 10.5 and my half length, I marked it on both sides. So I'll go to the back and mark the same thing. I'll mark my bust point here and then my half length, which is 16 inches. So the next thing is to go ahead and connect it just like what you're seeing on the screen. That last line was not necessary, sorry guys. Next is to go ahead and connect a shoulder measurement just like this, and then on that shoulder line that you mark 1.5, divide your shoulder measurement into 2, and for the back too, divide your shoulder back measurement into 2, and then go ahead and mark the neckline. For the neck width, I'm using 3 inches for the neck width, and for the neck depth I use 3 inches as well. I'm still going to alter the neckline because I don't want it to be too high. So next is to go ahead and connect the shoulder slant. So on that shoulder slant, I'll go up by half an inch to connect it. That half an inch is for the joining allowance. All right, so from there I'll go ahead and divide my bust into 6 and then add 1.5 to it. So for your armhole, that's how to do it. So where I marked is going to be my across chest, and that's where the armhole is going to start from. So I'll go ahead and connect it. All right, so when you are done, go ahead and divide your across chest measurement into 2. If you don't know how to get your across chest measurement, just minus half from your shoulder and then mark it. So after you're done, go ahead and connect it like on your cross back measurement just like this. Go ahead and divide your cross back into 2 and then connect it to the shoulder. When you're done connecting, go ahead to your neckline and then mark 3 inches, then come down by 1.5 and connect the lines just like what you're seeing on the screen. Next thing is to connect the shoulder slope like this, and where you mark your shoulder measurement, go up by half an inch. Remember, the half an inch is for shoulder joining. All right, after that, go to your across chest measurement and divide your bust measurement into 4 and then mark. Do the same thing on the back, across back, and mark your across back. You are going to add extra 1 inch to your measurement because it's not a fitted play suit because of the belt. All right, on the bust I will divide my bust in the, measurement into 4, and on the waist I'll do the same thing and then go ahead and connect it. Then on the back line I'll go ahead and mark 1 inch and then connect it. This 1 inch is to remove the zipper bolt. All right, so from there I'll go ahead and divide my bust span into 2, placing my tape rule like this. Now you are going to include the dart when you are measuring your bust span and then mark 4 inches, whatever your bust span is. Take it up and mark the same thing as well. So when you are done, go ahead and connect it. Now for the dart, we are going to use 0.5 on both sides. That's a total of 1 inch. All right, I'll go ahead and mark it and then go ahead and connect the lines. So when you are done doing this, go ahead and place your waist measurement. Remember, you are not going to use your exact waist measurement. You are going to add 1 inch to it, extra 1 inch to your measurement because it's not fitted. All right, so from there, after taking that measurement, I'll go ahead and add the dart measurement and then connect it to my bust, and that's. So next thing is to go ahead and add a seam allowance. So I'm using 1.5. I'll go ahead and mark 1.5 all the way down and then go to the back and do the same thing as well. So when you are done, go ahead and connect it just like this. Now the next thing is to go ahead and connect our armhole contour. Now the distance from the your bust measurement to your across chest, whatever you have for the front, divide it by 4 and then mark it. Place your tape rule from your shoulder line to your across chest, whatever you have, divide it by 2 and go in by 0.5. that's on the midpoint, and then connect it. If you've been watching my videos, you know what I'm talking about. So next thing, for the back, the distance, whatever you have, you divide it by 2. Remember, for the front is by 4 and for the back is by 2. Next is to go ahead and connect it just like this. So now we are done with the front part, and both the front and the back. All right, so the next thing is to go ahead and add half an inch for your armhole measurement. This, you can only do this one if you are going to fix the sleeves. All right, if you are not going to fix sleeves, do not do it. Do not add that half an inch. All right, now to the neckline, I'm going to use 4. Remember I said I'm going to alter the neckline. I'm going to use 4 instead of 3. I'll use 4 for the neck depth and 4 inches for the neck width, both for front and the back. All right, so I'll mark 4 inches like this and then go ahead and connect it. To the back, you're going to remember we used 3 as well, so we are going to increase the neck width by 4, just like this, and the neck depth you are going to increase it by 2. All right, next is to go ahead and connect it just like this. After that, I went ahead to cut it out just like what you're seeing on the screen. Please, if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, do well too, and don't forget to like so that YouTube can push this video to more audience. All right, thank you so much. So you're going to cut it like this, and that's it. So now that we are done cutting the upper part, we are going to go ahead and remove the dart. Now that we are done cutting the upper part, so let's go ahead and cut the back. So the next thing I did, I went ahead to indicate that's the zipper line and this is the back, and you remember I've already added the front. Now let's go ahead and cut the knicker. So now please, that line that is there is not included. All right, next, the first thing you're going to do, you're going to place your tape rule like this and then measure your hip length. So because it's jumpsuit, I'm always careful because I don't want it to be tight somewhere on under my laps. All right, so I increase it. Instead of using it as my normal hip line, I use 8.5. so next thing is to go ahead and connect it. I also went ahead to indicate that's the waistline and that's the hip line. So the next measurement we are going to do is to measure my crotch length. To get your crotch length, divide your hip into 3 and then mark it just like this. Remember I said that this, because it's not fitted, so I'm going to add 1 inch to all the measurements. So I've gone ahead to connect my crotch. Now the length of this knicker is 19 inches. That's what I use. All right, so the next thing is to go ahead and divide your hip into 4. For example, my hip is 38. All right, so instead of using that 38, I'm going to go ahead and use 40. All right, so I went to the waist and marked 1 inch to remove the side dart. You must always remove your side dart and then go ahead and connect it to the hip line. On the waistline, I divide my waist into measurement into 4 and then I added 1.5 inches that will cover for both the sewing and every other joining. All right, so on the crotch length, my thigh is 26. All right, so because my thigh is 25 rather, but because I said we are going to add 1 inch, so instead of using 12.5 after dividing it into 2, I use 13.5. all right, so the same measurement, I use it on the knicker length. I hope you are getting. So the next thing, I went ahead to connect it just like this and to connect the trouser just like what you are seeing on the screen. After that, I went ahead to remove the dart, and that's we are done cutting the front. So I went ahead to place the pattern paper to cut the back. The next thing I did was to connect the crotch length, like extend it just like this. On the crotch length, you are going to go increase it by 3.5. it will cover for both the sewing, and where the length stops I'll use 3 inches, just like what you're seeing on the screen, and then I'll go ahead and connect it. The next measurement is to go ahead and go to your hip line and increase it by 2 inches. Remember, this sewing will cover for both the joining, every part of the joining, and for the waist we remember we've already had 1.5 on the waistline, so we are not adding it to the back again. Next thing is just to go ahead and connect your trouser to the waistline, just like this, without any addition on the waistline, remember. And that's it for the back. So for the back I decided to add 1 inch for that. Remember, the 1 inch I removed from the front, I went ahead to add to the back, and then the next thing I did was to go ahead and cut it. Now I indicated there the front and there the back line. So the next thing I did was to go ahead and cut it. Now I've gone ahead to add 2.5. The reason I did this, I felt like maybe that 19 inches that I used for the length is going to be too short, alright, so I decided to add 2.5 to it. And for the back I added the zipper allowance and also had joining for the waistline, and this is the front, and that's what I did. The next thing is to go ahead, I went ahead to cut facing because I didn't use lining. I cut facing for both front and the back, alright. Now next thing is to go ahead and start sewing. So next thing, you're going to go ahead and open your fabric like this and then put the facing. You can either pin it on or just sew it like that. What you need, you just pin the center front and then sew like 0.2 inch on both sides, and then for the back go ahead and do the same thing as well. So when you are done doing that, the next thing is to go ahead and notch it. As you can see, I've already gone ahead to notch it both front and the back. Now that you are done, you are going to go ahead and top stitch the facing. Remember, you are top stitching the facing. When you are done, go ahead and iron it just like this. Make sure you iron your clothes as you are sewing. And now the next thing is to go ahead and join the shoulder. Remember, we added half, so you are going to join the facing separate and then the cloth itself separate, as if you are joining the lining. Now I've gone ahead to do that. The next thing is to go ahead and join the side. Remember, we added 1.5. You are going to go ahead and add it as well, join it rather. So here I've gone ahead to iron the joining, and this is the outcome. So the next thing I did was to start sewing the trouser. So for the trouser we are going to put pocket, alright. So how to put the pocket, you are going to pick the front and mark 1.5 downward just like this and notch it there. So from that 1.5 you are going to measure the distance of your pocket. Now I'm using 6.5 and that's what I use. I'll go ahead and notch that place that I marked the 1.5 and also notch the other side where I marked 6.5. So the distance is 0.5. Alright, next thing, I've gone ahead to cut the pocket. Now the width of the pocket is the length is actually 12 inches, alright, and the width is 7 inches, or you can use 6.5 to 7 inches, it's fine. So next thing is to go ahead and notch the same length where I marked 1.5, and that's it. So after notching it, next thing is to go ahead and open your trouser like this and join, sew the center front like this, like 0.6 or 0.5, then go ahead to join it. So after you are done joining, next is to go ahead and fix the zipper like this, the pocket rather. So you're going to open your fabric like this and then place your pocket like from where you marked the 1.5 and sew and stop at where you marked 6.5. Alright, you're going to stop there. So the length of what you are going to sew is like 0.6, alright, or half an inch. Next thing is to go ahead and notch that place. So where you are notching is where you started and ended the sewing, alright. So after you are done notching, you are going to turn your pocket like this. You can either sew it together or top stitch it. You can join it like this and top stitch it on both sides, and then or you can open it and top stitch, but I prefer opening to top stitch the pocket. All right, so I've gone ahead to do that. Next thing is to open your trouser like this, your knicker rather, and then turn the pocket to this side just like this, and then go ahead and you can see the way I arrange it. Take your time and arrange it very well, and then turn it to this side. Next is to go ahead and brace the waistline and then top stitch that side. So on the lower part, you are going to top stitch it like 1 inch, stop somewhere in like 1 inch downward. All right, so when you are done like this, you can see I've gone ahead to do that. Now you are going to notch your pocket like 1.2 or 1 inch, only your pocket too. So when you are done notching your pocket, you can see how it looks like. You are going to put your hand in that pocket and then flip it out. So when you are done flipping it, go ahead and arrange your pocket, let it align together, and when you are done doing that, you are going to go ahead and cuff the sewing. Anyways, I'm still going to show you. You are going to cuff it like that. All right, so when you are done, it should look like this. You can go ahead and trim it off. I've already done that. And next thing is to go ahead and put your hand in your pocket, then turn it out like this. And next thing is to go ahead and top stitch where you've sewn, just like this. Your pocket is ready. All right, next is to go ahead and put your hand to know if your pocket is as good as this. All right, now that we are done, let's go ahead and sew the back knicker. So because the zip is going to be at the back, we are going to measure from the waistline. You are going to mark 8 inches. So that 8 inches is where the sewing will start from. So you are going to start sewing just like this and stop there. All right, so when you are done, go ahead and open your pocket like your knicker like this, and then join the side. Please, when you get to that pocket cell, make sure you top stitch it. All right, so I've gone ahead to sew all the sides. If you've been watching my tutorials, you know what I mean. I've sewn the lap side, the crotch side, all the sides. Now it's for us to fix the dart. All right, remember I added 1 inch, so this is the upper part. I forgot to notch it. I'll minus 1 inch for the zipper line and I will knot it just like this. Okay, so next thing is to go ahead, and this is how you are going to sew it. You are going to fold your dart and sew it. Next thing is to place the knicker. Remember I added 1 inch. For it to rhyme, you are going to place it just like this and then notch the exact dart, the exact measurement. This has nothing to do with your side seam. It's going to align. That's why I added that 1.5 for the waist measurement as the seam that will cover for both front and the back. So when you are done doing that, next thing is to go ahead and sew your dart. So I've gone ahead to sew this dart like this. Next thing is to go ahead and join the waistline. You are going to fold your front, your upper part like this, and notch the center of the front. So next thing is to go ahead and place the front on the knicker, like the upper part on the knicker. You are going to place it on that center front like that, and then go ahead to sew it. You are going to sew from that middle point to the, you can see the side rhyme with the knicker. All right, go ahead and sew it just like this. So when you are done, it should look like this. Next thing is to go ahead and fix your zip. So when you are done fixing your zip, remember I added 1.5 to it. I'll go ahead and sew my 1.5. So now I've gone ahead to iron all the parts, and now is to cut the sleeves. So this is for those that would like to fix sleeves. All right, next thing is to go ahead and measure your armhole. If here the armhole is 8.5, all right, so I will assume that the length of the sleeve that they use there is actually 8 inches, or you can increase it if you want to, and then mark it, then connect the lines just like this. Now to get your biceps, you are going to mark 4 inches, and then there you are going to divide your biceps into 2. Okay, so my biceps is 13. I'll just add 1 inch to it because I said it doesn't have to be fitted. And then there you are going to mark 1 inch just to connect your armhole. just like this, and then go ahead and connect it. When you are done doing this, you are going to go ahead and cross check your armhole to know if it's complete. Remember, it's 8.5 and it's actually 8.5 that I got. Okay, in your own case, if it's not up to that measurement, just go ahead and increase it. All right, so the next measurement I did was to go ahead and add the seam allowance, which is 1.5, and then I went ahead to connect it. So I added extra 2 inches for the folding allowance, just like this, and I went ahead to cut it out. So next thing, I went ahead, after cutting it out, this is how it should look like if in case you decide to put sleeves on it. So when you're sewing, make sure you fold the 1.5 just like this. And that was it. Thank you guys for watching.